I think the biggest challenge that we have is that we have enormous access to lots of data across the organization. It's how we use the data for effective use with a common purpose is likely our biggest challenge, and to do so at a speed in which clients expect it to be used.
People are paralyzed by the volume of data. They're looking at the number, not the context, and not drawing conclusions. The second part of it is really the culture of how marketers evolve through a data-driven world, and an over-reliance on data in terms of the number or the information in the absence of context.
For me, I feel that the biggest challenge is really the loss of intuition. And so I think people have started to go so far into the data area that they've started to forget a little bit to rely on your own intuition and your own experience.
Well, I think it's confused the marketing industry. I think it's paralyzed it a bit. I think it has excited the marketing industry. And I think the marketing industry is looking for examples where people know how to go about using data to accomplish and achieve goals, the KPIs. And I think we need more of those examples and less of the, what are you doing in big data, and you should be worried that the outside world is moving faster than the inside world, and are you falling behind? So I think it just gets back to what business objectives you're trying to accomplish and how you're trying to use data, and coming up with very, very specific needs for data that achieve what you're trying to do instead of the large scattergram plethora of big data.
I think it's made it more challenging for marketers to make decisions, actually, because it's very hard to categorize some of that data, determine what is the good data, what is the bad data, where's the data coming from, the quality of the data. Is everything being compared apples to apples, or are we trying to compare two entirely different data sets here? This is really where the challenge presents itself for a marketer. That the data is just can be overwhelming at times, and one really needs to be quite strategic and focused in terms of how one takes that data and translates it into marketing decisions, everyday marketing decisions.
While we are a data-driven business in terms of where we make our investments, in terms of how we make our information more readily available and then ultimately make decisions against it, there's also an element that says, what's your gut? And this is a big challenge for marketers today. In some instances, you're going into uncharted territory where the data is non-existent. And so you have to place those bets based on gut intuition and what you think based on what you see the data. And so there has to be a proper balance if you're really going to lead in the market.
Well, I think that certainly within the organization, having data to inform either us individually or us collectively as to the opportunity, the issue, or the potential use of data is critically important. But it doesn't take away from the value of having real people involved in decision making. So what we see in banking is really two things. One is the emergence of technology, and then how we use data around the technology that our clients are using. But then increasingly important is the human aspect. Like, it's going back to an olden view where the relationship and the instincts that our people have with our clients is increasing in value again to help augment or offset the data use that we actually have in the organization.